Oh, I'm supposed to add the highlighter on the inner corner of my eyes. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm LJ if you're new here. So today's video, I'm going to be creating this easy 10-minute makeup look. So this is a 10-minute makeup transformation from zero to this. So all the products that I'm going to be using today are drugstore products. So I wanted to do a very natural makeup look, an everyday type of makeup look, but also use drugstore products, something very affordable and easy. So in my previous video, I did a makeup for work at school. Most of you guys really enjoyed the video, but I wanted to create this one for those of you guys who wanted something even more natural, even more quick and simple. So if you're interested, let's get into it. But if you haven't subscribed, I would love to have you on the LJ family. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'. Welcome to a YouTube.
Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to be transforming from this to this right here. So this is a 10-minute makeup transformation. Everything that I'm using is going to be drugstore and affordable makeup products that you can pick up from Ulta or your local drugstore. Something that's a little bit more on the simple side that is not too much. So starting off with a freshly cleansed face, you always want to make sure that your skin is cleansed and you've put moisturizer and SPF on. So I'm going to start off with primer, and the primer that I'm going to be using is the NYX Hydra Touch Primer. So this is a hydrating primer. I always put primer on when I do my makeup. It doesn't matter if it's a very light natural makeup. If I am putting on foundation, I always like to prime my skin to make sure that my skin does not absorb the makeup. Alright, so next I'm going to move on to foundation. Now this part is totally optional. If you are a foundation person, you can put on foundation. If you don't feel like you need it, I wouldn't really recommend it, but I do like to put on foundation for me because it's an easy process. It's an easy step that I can always do very quickly. So the foundation that I'm going to use is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Foundation. This is a hydrating foundation, and the shade that I use is 190W. So usually I put like one pump of this foundation. I don't put too much, and especially if this is like a quick 10-minute makeup look, you don't want to cake up your makeup with a lot of foundation. And then once I put that on, I'm gonna go ahead and blend it out with my e.l.f. beauty sponge. So typically with foundation, I like to focus on around this area right here because that's usually where I have discoloration. I try to keep the foundation away from the center of my face because I feel like that's where it starts caking up, and that's usually the area that starts getting oily throughout the day. So I try to keep the foundation away from here and just makeup in general. And then next I'm gonna go in with concealer, and I'm gonna use the Pretty Fresh concealer that goes with the foundation. So this one is in the shade 145W. I like to focus the concealer just around this area because that's where I have the most discoloration, and then I just bring it on the outer portion just to lift my face up. And I'm gonna place a small amount because nowadays I don't really like placing too much concealer. It creases, and then your makeup starts looking unnatural after like 3 or 4 hours of you wearing it. And then a little bit, of course, like on the forehead area, on the nose area, and the chin. And then I'm gonna use another beauty blender to blend this out. You can use the e.l.f. sponge and use this area, but I like using a smaller beauty blender to blend out the concealer. I'm gonna blend this out, and I like to use the tip side and just kind of press it in and spread it around. And I focus only on my under eye. I don't bring it all the way down. I get a lot of questions whether my sponge is wet or dry. I never use a dry beauty blender. You always want to make sure that your beauty blender is damp. Now, not wet as in like when you squish it, like water drips from the beauty blender. You want to make sure that it's wet, but when you squish it, it's very fluffy and you don't get any water on your hands coming out of the beauty blender. And then once you drag the concealer all the way out, I like to go in with the clean part of the beauty blender and just kind of diffuse that so you don't really see that line of demarcation. And so I like to do the same thing with my forehead, go back in with that part of the beauty blender and just kind of clean up the sides of that concealer. Alright, so next I'm going to go in with a cream bronzer, and I'm going to go in with the one by e.l.f. Cosmetics. This is the Putty bronzer. This is in the shade Sunkissed. And so you want to place your cream products first before setting your skin. I could have just went in with setting powder if I wasn't going to use a cream bronzer. But if I am going in with a cream bronzer, it's just a little bit easier if you apply all your cream products first, then set your skin with powder. The blending is a lot easier, and especially if you want to do a 10-minute makeup makeup look, you want something really quick. So it's better for you to go in with cream and then powder so the blending is smooth. So what I'm going to do is take the e.l.f. sponge and I'm just going to press that on the cream bronzer, and take that cream bronzer and just place it right where my cheekbones are. And I really like these bronzers because they're very natural, so you don't have to worry about like putting too much, and they're super easy to blend, so it saves you up a lot of time when you're doing your makeup. So once you place that bronzer on there, you just want to blend it upwards. You should never blend your contour downwards because it's supposed to kind of like give you a sharp structured face, so you want to blend it upwards so that it gives you that nice contoured look. And I'm gonna take some of that bronzer and just place it on my forehead, but I'm only placing it on the sides of my forehead where that shadow is, and then just a little bit for my jawline. And then next I'm gonna contour my nose, and I'm gonna use that same bronzer, and I'm gonna use my nose contouring brush, and then I'm gonna go in with the beauty blender that I used for the concealer and just clean that up. So I know you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, this makeup is too light. Okay, relax. We are going to bring this down. So I'm not using any setting powder just because I don't feel like setting powder is always needed, especially if you're a face powder type of person. So to set my foundation and my concealer, I'm gonna go in with this NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop mattifying powder. This is in the shade Mocha. So first I'm gonna start off with a round kabuki brush and press that onto the powder. Of course, you don't want to place too much, and you just want to go in and set your foundation so it doesn't move and crease. So I usually like doing this if I'm going for a very quick makeup look because I feel like it adds a little bit more coverage and it really just locks your foundation in place. Then I'm going to go in where I placed the contour as well because we did use a cream bronzer, so we don't want it to be like oily and shiny during the day. So I'm just going to run that also on my forehead where I placed that concealer. I'm going to use this kind of brush for my under eye because I feel like it fits perfect. This is the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH17 palette. You can get this from Ulta. So I just pressed that onto the powder and I press that right underneath that concealer. You can see how it instantly brings down that light concealer and makes it very much natural. So that's why I really like using a pressed powder. Sometimes I use a setting powder, but I like using pressed powders because they're super easy. And because I'm placing it on my foundation, I just want to place it all over my face just to make sure that I'm controlling the oils on my skin. All right, so next it's time to do the eyebrows. So I'm just gonna brush up my eyebrow hairs, make sure they're all going in one direction. And then for eyebrows today, I'm gonna use this e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. This is in the shade Deep Brown. So I'm just gonna quickly fill in my eyebrows. I usually do my eyebrows very natural now, so it doesn't take me more than like a minute to do them. And then next, I'm just gonna use a little bit of this concealer and place it on my eyelids. And this will get rid of the discoloration on your eyelids to make sure that it matches your skin. And then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the pressed powder and place that on my eyelids just to set that concealer. All right, next for the eyes, I'm gonna go in with mascara. You can put on lashes if you wish. So for mascara, I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Lash Sensational mascara in the shade Very Black. If you wanna do makeup look that is more than 10 minutes long, I'm not gonna put any lashes on because that takes me forever and defeats the purpose. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just put on mascara. I'm also not even putting on any eyeliner. And then to finish off my face, I'm gonna use blush, and I really like this BH Cosmetics Chocolate Cherry Truffle Blush Palette. I've used this so many times on my channel. I still really like it because I feel like it's really easy to apply. So I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, which is a pink shade. And so I'm using a blush brush and picking up a little bit of that shade and placing it right where my cheeks are. And then whatever's left on the brush, I just like to bring it up to kind of blend it out so it's not just sitting like right on the apples of my cheeks. And then for highlighter, I'm gonna go in with the Milani Baked Powder Blush. So this is supposed to be used as a blush, but I like to use it as a highlighter for natural makeup looks or quick makeup looks. Highlighter is totally optional. I don't always apply highlighter, but I want to give my skin a little bit of that glowy look. So I'm gonna go in with this highlighter, and I like to just place a very, very small amount. And I'm gonna place some on my forehead just so that it's nice and glowy. And then using my finger, I'm gonna place a little bit on the button of my nose and a little bit of my cupid's bow. Last but not least, I'm lining my lips with Trendsetter by Morphe. And then I'm gonna go in with this Revlon Glass Shine lipstick in the shade Toasting Glasses. This is like my go-to lip product. I really, really like it. So you can use your favorite lip gloss or your favorite lipstick, whichever one that you wanna apply on your lips. So taking a little bit of that highlighter, I'm gonna add that to the inner corner of my eye just to give it that pop. Alright guys, this is the final look of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So this is definitely my 10-minute makeup transformation routine. Like I mentioned earlier, I wanted to create this video for those of you guys who wanted something more simple. No lashes, no eyeliner, none of that extra stuff. This is definitely very much natural, but I feel like it still adds a little bit of color and coverage onto your skin. So this is definitely something that you can do every single day if you're looking for a quick makeup look and you don't want to do too much. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs this video up for me. Don't forget to check out my next video over here. So this is the Makeup for Workers School. If you haven't checked it out already, don't forget to also subscribe. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'.